Education, unquestionably, is an indispensable means for people to realize their capabilities and is a catalyst for national development. Though globally regarded as a lifelong process, education helps mankind to understand the economic, social, political, environmental, and cultural processes that affect them.
If somebody studied maybe theater arts in the university, he can as well become what? A playwright. Because he'll be sitting down to write plays to be acted in the what? Theater.
The Nigerian government has in the past initiated several policies and programs aimed at improving the quality of education. Unfortunately, however, just like most developing countries of the world, these initiatives have not had the desired effect. No thanks to a plethora of challenges ranging from corruption, poor funding, inadequate infrastructures, and poor teacher remuneration amidst poorly defined curricula.
For a country to develop, education is bedrock. For education to move up, teachers are just it. Revamp the system, motivate the teachers. When it is time for research, raise funds for them to do research. When research is done, government should make use of the researches that come out from this country. And they will see the level that education will get up to.
It is, however, heartwarming that amidst the many daunting challenges besetting the education sector in Nigeria, the administration of Senator Dr. Arthur Ifeanyi-Okowa in Delta State is doing things differently to rev up the education sector and place it on the path of quality and productive through the introduction of skills acquisition and entrepreneurship training.
Gov.Okowa came in with the Smartdelta agenda, and that Smartdelta agenda was to harness the potentials of Delta by encouraging technical colleges and vocational studies. Today, there is 19 new technical colleges. He is now drifting the system from this theoretical aspect of education to the technical aspect of education, and which is the bedrock of any society.
Under the SMART agenda, he did put in place a policy and programs and projects that's going to take us into an era of not only the conventional institutions that we are all used to, the primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions, but in addition, vocation and technical skills and all that.
In the past 5 years of the Okowa-led administration, the various organs of the Education Ministry, such as the State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, Post-Primary Education Board, PPEB, and many others, have all in no small measure assisted the government in the implementation of its policies and programs on the way to achieving desired results.
When we came on board, the state government has not been able to access our counterpart funds from UBEC since 2013, but the governor provided funds for the commencement of the implementation. Starting from 2013 to 2019 now, this 2019 is currently ongoing. More than 5,000 teachers have been trained. Our payment of teacher salaries is up to date.
One major thing we noticeable in in the schools is the increase in enrollment. We found out that parents are bringing back their children to our schools due to the massive work going on in our schools. There's no word in the 25 local governments of this state that the presence of this state government will not be felt.
Under the watch of Senator Dr. Gov.Okowa'S, the education subsector in Delta State has enjoyed better funding, and this has led to massive construction and rebuilding of physical infrastructure, implementation of salient policies such as teacher training and reward systems, retweaking and rejigging of existing curricula in tune with present realities. Besides, government has equally paid priority attention to provision of equipment and teaching aids, as well as promotion of technical education with emphasis on practical training and hands-on skills. Prompt payment of teacher salaries and remunerations, promotions and other incentives have been ingrained within the system, and these have made teaching and learning an exciting experience.
This block we are seeing and that block there, I just got to this school 2 weeks and they were renovated. And I tell you, it's been wonderful here. His Excellency Senator Dr. Gov.Okowa'S, we want to thank him. We pray that God should guide him, give him the wisdom to do more.
The classrooms were they are dilapidated, terrible, not conducive for children to learn. But today, when the children even came, you'll see the joy in them, just as we are happy. I want to say a very big thank you for releasing this fantastic building.
The tremendous impact of the revamped 6 existing technical colleges in the first 4 years has propelled Gov.Okowa'S to embark on the establishment of 19 brand new technical colleges. Today, 9 of the 19 are currently under construction.
I'm truly very impressed with this place, and with the lockdown that we had from the end of March, I'm truly surprised that they've gotten to this level. You can see that the level of work is really gone so high. I have all praise for the contractor because all the facilities are already situated in place at different levels of completion. They are moving definitely much faster than we thought they would have been able to move.
Before now, technical education has been at the background, unknown. In fact, at a time, it was looked at as schools for dropouts. As we stand, the ministry has a mandate to ensure a technical college for each of the local government councils in the state. And that gave birth to the approval for the implementation of additional 19 technical colleges.
At the Uwe New Technical College site, which is near completion, we met the site consultant, architect Mrs. Oru Theresa, and her colleague, engineer Samuel Akong. Both of them, while emphasizing the need for improved technical education system in the society, commended the governor for his commitment to the project.
The 16 units we're having on this project is the gatehouse, the clinic, the principal quarters, the school hall, the administrative and classroom, workshop 1, 2, 3, which is the body of the technical college itself. The state government has put in place all that is necessary as far as the setup is concerned.
It's a very laudable initiative by the governor because we need people that are skilled, that can actually build things. This is going to impact meaningfully to the development of the society at large and Nigeria as a country.
At Obiaroko, headquarters of Okwani local government area, testimonies from the indigents and workers at the technical college under construction further lends credence to the efforts of the Okowa-led administration in the development of technical education in the state.
The governor is a visionary. This is one of the things we are lacking in the country. And with this one, craft work, technical, it's a complete school. It's one of the best projects the governor is really embarking on now.
The government tried for us. So the work is moving. Even Sundays we work. So I appreciate the state. We still also pray for them to bring a higher one, more than this one.
It's a good one from the state government and from the governor. We do appreciate him for this project. Indeed, Okowa has a good vision. We appreciate him for that.
The retraining of teachers already existing in the system has become a regular exercise. And to cater to the ever-growing population of young Deltans yearning for education, the administration has adopted the computer-based test CBT system to recruit new teachers to meet the ever-growing needs. This, to a great extent, has introduced tremendous value to the education system, as only qualified teachers have been employed. A number of such training and recruitment programs that have been held at various locations had the participants testifying to the quality of training given to them and how it contributes to the level of teachers' output, and thereby making the teaching and learning process even more effective.
It takes an intelligent person to do intelligent things. I would say Gov.Okowa'S is really an intelligent man. If you see the way this thing is going, for a long time now I've been going for different interviews. I think this is one of the credible ones I've really seen.
The process was credible. I thank God there is an improvement compared to previous steps that have been taken towards exam like this. And I really encourage other states to queue into the computer-based tests, unlike the paper we used to.
This is actually one of the smoothest processes so far. Everything just went as planned. I came in time, sat down, did everything once. It's a very, very, very big thank you to you, sir. It's been outstanding. We didn't expect it, from the past administrations coming in, from all the things he's been doing so far, from the empowerment and the rest, now to this one. Thank you very much, sir.
The focus is on getting the right people to teach the children. And education is one of those things any system will not play with if you actually want to develop your people, because the people are the best material resource you can get. What the governor is doing right now, getting the right teachers, it is going to impact positively in our education system.
Some of the newly recruited teachers and beneficiaries of training programs, while appreciating the state government, pledged their dedication to service as payback for the confidence reposed in them. They see their new status as teachers a call to higher duty to train the next generation of Deltans preparatory for service to the state and the nation.
I've been a professional teacher with my certificates, and I know I'm going to give them what they expect me to do. We are the future of Delta State, and giving us this job now, they expect us to impact into the children so that when they come out, they see us as role models.
Government took further step with the establishment of the Teachers Development Training Center, TPDC, which is nearing completion.
It's going to be a world-class training center whereby we can also offer training to teachers from other states of the Federation. That's what I believe the vision is all about. It's not just about Delta State. So having a teacher development training center is going to go a long way to impact and improve our education system, because our students, as it were, stand a better chance of competing with other students in other developed nations.
Tertiary education has not been left behind in the scheme of things. Since inception of his administration in 2015, Governor Okowa has paid special attention to the ivory towers. The state-owned Delta State University, DELSU, with multi-campus setting in Abraka, Ole and Awai, as well as the state-owned polytechnics at Ozoro, Ogara and Ogwashuku, and 3 colleges of education have all benefited different levels of development according to their needs and peculiarities.
This state equally prides itself as the state with the highest number of tertiary institutions, and none has been neglected. All of them has been given equal attention in terms of instructional materials, in terms of the laboratories have been well taken care of, and also the human capital development. Because you see, this lecturer training and retraining of our lecturers is equally important. The educational sector in the state has been superb.
Governor Okowa has directed all the schools to pay attention to entrepreneurship training.
Technical education is the way to go to feed our polytechnics and ensure that children come out of school properly skilled and prepared for the future. It's important to help train our people with skills apart from the education that is general to all.
Smartdelta.
End police brutality! End police brutality! End police brutality! End police brutality!
Brother, which way now? Why you dey ask say which way?
End police brutality!
So all of us were there, so we dey go dey join our colleagues for the protest. Police brutality must come to an end.
Even our governor Okowa, he no dey in support of police brutality, so he don set up a judicial panel wey go dey investigate any allegations wey get to do with police brutality and extrajudicial killings. Even Okowa government don decide to establish a special security and human rights committee, and for that committee you fit lay complaints about police activities and even the things wey dey happen.
And because say Governor Okowa care about Deltans, im come talk say there go be a dedicated phone line and social media channel wey go dey available to report complaints.
Also, Okowa administration don establish a special victim support funds for the payment of momentary compensation to victims of police brutality and extrajudicial killings for Delta State.
The outbreak of the coronavirus, which forced the closure of schools across the globe, also affected the state. But to close the learning gap, the Delta State government introduced virtual learning.
This, as it were, will lead to cultural shock and, of course, decadence.
We have all the equipment that we need for this e-learning here. Everything is in place. And I know the children, they are good on their own. So we'll have a very pleasant learning period.
I want to thank Dr. Senator Gov.Okowa'S. Having these children in his agenda, he didn't relent. He made sure that everything was okay for the children to learn. It's a good thing.
As the state and the country at large prepare for the full reopening of schools, the Delta State government is dotting all I's and crossing all T's with focus on safety measures to ensure hitch-free resumption. The Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Patrick Uka, in a chat with Smartdelta team, chronicled detailed steps taken by government in this direction. Hear him.
Even without any support from the federal government, that the state government was able to do what was humanly possible to get the students back to school. One, we cleared the schools, we fumigated it, we provided face masks for all the students. We provided water storage tanks for schools that do not have water. We provided infrared thermometer for testing the temperatures. We equally provided sanitizers. And we also moved in to do minor repairs, especially in those classes that we use like fixing doors, windows, and what have you. We did all this before they came back to school.
Prior to the reopening moves for the basic and secondary education, Patrick Uka had embarked on a preemptive tour around schools in the 25 local government areas in company of Smartdelta media team to ensure compliance to COVID-19 protocols.
We've gone through 2 senatorial districts. This is the 3rd senatorial district of selected schools. I'm quite impressed with the way our people have comported themselves in terms of COVID-19 protocols. We have seen some projects we have embarked upon in the ministry. Some were satisfied, some we had cause to call the contractors back to do some corrections. Both in the ministry and the housing department, we have to increase our monitoring to make sure that it stays strictly to the specifications. And we cannot tolerate very shabbily done jobs.
At some of the schools such as Arade Grammar School, Afisere Secondary School, Emora Grammar School and many others, the staff expressed satisfaction with the level of support given by the state government in ensuring that they meet up with the requirements.
We are grateful to Senator Dr. Gov.Okowa'S for taking care of our students, for making them feel. There was one that said, "Oh, I'm loved by my state." When she wore the face mask, they were quite very happy about it.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the government for all they did to support. They supplied us things, the thermometer, the soap, the sanitizer, and everything that we need to see that our students, they return back to school.
As a result of the COVID-19, everybody has been subjected to wearing a face mask, of which the government provided. Thank you for that. They also provided bowls, soap, and then buckets for washing of hands, and also sanitizers to keep the students safe. And then they asked us to keep physical distances. Teachers also being there to make sure we adhere to the rules.
We also met some of the students in exit classes. They were not only excited to be back to school, but commended the efforts of Governor Okowa'S in making sure a safe environment was put in place for their return and study.
I'm grateful to His Excellency, Dr. Okowa'S, for helping us secondary students come to school. They provided masks and sanitizers, soap and everything necessary to maintain the protocols of the new normal. And here we are. We're writing our exam. I'm grateful.
I just want to appreciate the state government. May God continue to bless you for the opening of schools and for the things that you have provided for us to write our WAEC. We pray that may God continue to guide you and to give you more grace to do other things ahead.
I want to really thank the government, most especially Governor, for giving us kind of opportunity, for providing face masks and other necessary stuff to be able to write our exams. We've been really, really grateful.
I feel happy coming back to school because staying at home and knowing you have an exam is like a burden. So coming back to school and you're allowing us to write the exam. So our state governor also say thank you very much to the Equime of Delta State.
Safety measures taken in both basic and secondary education cadre were also replicated in higher education. Just like the primary schools, secondary school students were engaged in electronic learning during the lockdown. Students in Ivory Tower share similar experiences. In an interview with the head directorate of ICT, Delta State University, Abraka, he explained how the students were also engaged in digital learning during the lockdown period.
We have two good software developers, and they came out with a very sound learning management system, which we call DLMS, DESU Learning Management System. And it's simple, easy to use. You can communicate with the students, you can upload your lecture notes with the students, you can upload your videos to the students, you can do a test communication with the students.
We, the software developers in the DESU ICT, came up with DLMS, DESU Learning Management System. We did an online training because we cannot bring people together. We have to do a training online to the students and to the staff. And on that note, they were able to engage the students on teaching and learning throughout the period.
We are the first set to experience e-learning, that is the online lecture. It was really helpful. It made us to be busy during the lockdown. Throughout that 7 months, we were occupied with our book work, irrespective of the fact that schools were locked down.
The classes went just like a normal class. In fact, for me, I really enjoyed it more. I was able to cover up some of the things even before resumption. So I would say it's really helped me a lot.
The Vice Chancellor, Delta State University, Professor Andy Eguyenga, while speaking with the Smartdelta media team, revealed the many plans and measures taken to get to where they were. The professor, while explaining the need for students to resume in phases, expressed confidence in the state government's commitment to safety protocols and education.
We want what we call the foundation courses. They should come first. When we mean foundation, are those courses that feed the admission process. We have produced over 30,000 face masks. Our Directorate of Health Services and Pharmacy faculty have produced sanitizers enough. We have bought over 100 infrared thermometers so that anybody coming within the campus, first of all, must observe wearing of face mask before it's allowed in. And then the hand will be sanitized as well. And then the temperature checked. These are normal things we'll have to do.
Ahead of resumption of tertiary institutions in the state, Commissioner for Higher Education, Professor Patrick Momogari, embarked on a tour to schools under his watch. Some places he toured include the State University, Abraka, the State Polytechnics at Ogwashuku, Otefeogara, Ozoro, and the various colleges of education in Mosoga, Warri, and Abo.
We are risking resuming with very stringent conditions for staff and students to meet. The students have exhibited a high level of responsibility. I've decided to take it up as a challenge, and I've set up a committee to monitor compliance to the protocols. I think our students have made me very proud with what I have seen. Delta State University is ready to resume.
With the huge investments
made in the education subsector by the Okowa-led government, a solid foundation for the future of a younger generation of Daltons is assured. This action is seen by many as yet another milestone towards building a stronger Delta.
The feedback segment. Question of the day.
My question goes like this. In the midst of this crisis in Nigeria, what is the hope of younger generation in education sector?
Gideon, DK, I want to thank you for your question. In terms of education, you just shut down schools because of the crisis. And when peace returns immediately, schools will reopen again, believing that things will come back to normalcy. Present government trained teachers, youths who were recently employed, over 1,000 of them, and 55 education officers in the state. There's a very bright hope for the use of this state and the country in general.
It's important to get informed about what is going on in this state. If you're going to pass suggestions to us as government, your suggestions will be welcome. To know more about the Smartdelta team, follow Smartdelta on their various links.
Text your questions to 09016652274 or send with the hashtag #AXIT to all our social media platforms.
You better run, come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa'S they do. You better run, come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa'S they do. I see your job and work creation in Delta make the youth say them higher. Okowa. I see good roads everywhere in Delta make the people say them cola. Come live in Delta. Say me I say, come invest in Delta. Come explore the potentials of our state.